Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in a couple of my prior videos, you may have noticed me carrying around my Work Tough gear, Woodscraft Chonto, in the inverted position on my chest. Well, I've always said it's one thing to have a good knife, it's another to have a great sheath, because the sheath can make or break your user experience with the knife. But in order to enjoy the sheath, you actually have to have a good carry system built onto it. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So here in my hands, I have a handmade sling from Jacob Peterson at Beachin Tactical. Now this here is a Beachin Tactical sling that can be used for a multitude of different uses. I would say primarily either firearms or, in this case, a larger fixed blade. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to Jacob Peterson, who did provide this for this video. We teamed up on a couple of different videos and he thought it would be a great idea to send one of these out to me. So Jacob, I greatly appreciate it, man. This is absolutely beautiful work and I have been greatly enjoying it. So Jacob is not only the owner and operator of Beachin Tactical, but Exodus Knife and Tool and the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors. But if you're not familiar with Jacob's work, I do suggest checking out all of his different channels. So everything from the Prepper's Bunkers Outdoor on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as his Exodus Knife and Tool pages and the Beachin Tactical pages. So Jacob's a busy guy. He does a lot of stuff and he does it very, very well. And that is why we're here today and to talk to you about his tactical slings. So today I'm really more focused on the large fixed blades. I'm not too much of a firearms guy, so if you want some advice on using these slings in the firearms application, I would strongly suggest reaching out to Jacob directly. But as far as using this as a large fixed blade option, well, as you saw, this works out very, very well. Now, there's a number of different ways this can go. For me personally, I did greatly enjoy having this literally right on my chest. The ability to draw the knife very easily, do a bunch of work, and get it quite easily right back in the sheath. It has worked out just about perfect. Now, I do find that this stays relatively out of the way. It allows me to do a whole bunch of functions without it really inhibiting any of my movement, which is nice. The knife pretty much stays put right on my chest. Now, granted, you do heavily rely on the retention of the sheath. And in this case, I got to give it to the guys at Work Tough who did a beautiful job with the retention. And you can hear a good positive click. This knife is not going anywhere. So this option here might not be for everybody, but it does work well for me in this application. Now going a little more traditional in the baldric style carry, here you can see I do have it slung as a cross draw. So again, just another take on this, switching shoulders. Now personally, I am right hand dominant, and in order for me to do this, it does require me to sling this over my right shoulder, which for working and tasks like that, it doesn't bother me. I'm just saying it's not quite as optimal, where if I can sling this over my left arm and do that inverted vertical carry on my chest, that does work a little bit better. So there are a couple different ways you can go. Now the other thing that I do like about carrying this inverted on my chest is the ability to simply sling it around and get it out of the way. So now as I'm continuing on with my different tasks, well, this is quite easy, gets it completely out of the way, and now it is vertical on my back. Where I don't have the knife in my direct vision, having it vertical on my back is better, because at least, yeah, where I'm not paying attention to it and I can't see it, it is vertical. It's not inverted, which I don't think with this particular sheath I'd have a problem, but if it's on my back, I just assume it be in the vertical position. And that is one thing you'll see, that these slings do have a handle on them. Now, if I want to get this back and in front of me, I can easily just swing it around and I'm off and running, and that does work out very well. So whether I grab it here and sling it around, that's real quick and easy, or grabbing down below and pulling it back. This works out very well, and you can see that I have actually left it in the position to be able to grab it. Now, if you were concerned with this potentially snagging, it does come with some Velcro and different attachments and the ability to kind of cinch it down. I found for me, I just want to leave that little tag there, and it allows me to kind of just grab it easy, sling it around, and get everything positioned where I need. So this has worked out extremely well, and it has been quite comfortable at length. And part of what's made it comfortable is the fact that it is a nice wide paracord wrap. Now, I'm sure Jacob could weigh into this, but I believe this is an iteration of the Cobra weave over a flat piece of webbing. So inside you will see this does have webbing. Now, you have pretty much the run at what you want to select for color combinations. For me personally, I wanted something that was neutral, so it would basically go with any knife that I carried. So here I opted to go with a black multicam webbing, which I do like. I greatly enjoy black multicam. So getting it there on the webbing, that is pretty cool. I always like black multicam. I am definitely a big fan. And then for the paracord, you get a number of options. You can pretty much pick whatever you want. So I opted just for simply the black in the middle and that gray on the outside. Now, these aren't exactly reversible, only you probably could get away with it, which is flipping it around. Then you get the sort of opposite on the weave there. But there really is the main intended direction, which goes this way. And so overall, just perfectly woven. You can see from one end all the way to the other. Very nicely done. Jacob's work is impeccable, extremely well done. And so you'll notice the attachment point on this end is pretty much just a clip, very straightforward. Now I opted just to put a simple piece of paracord into my sheath to make a nice little loop, and that was based on Jacob's recommendation. He said it helps keep the sheath silent, which he is absolutely correct. That really does. And so as you look at it here, you can see just a very simple connection, and it leaves it flexible and pliable, yet at the same time, no clinking and clacking around. Very quiet, and that works out very well for me. And also on the other side of the sheath, you'll see exactly the same. So adding that little piece of paracord and just clipping this right onto the nose of the sheath. Definitely working very well. And then finally, you will see there is a buckle partway through. So here, very simple buckle. Now, looking at it closely, this is made in the USA, but I can't tell if it is technically a Duraflex buckle. It says on it GSI, but what I can tell you is very nicely made. Good quality, positive and firm click without too much in the way of rattle, which is nice. Sometimes inferior buckles can have a lot of play and a lot of rattle. That is definitely not the case. So here, working very well, and it plays nicely with the rest of the sling. So you'll see a medium gray color, kind of tying in with the color of the paracord. Overall, very nicely done. Now, generally speaking, there is more than enough length for a number of different configurations and different body sizes. You'll see for me, I have taken some of the excess and just looped it up. This does have a couple of different Velcro keepers in specific locations. I did find that for me on one end, I did have to add a little piece of a Velcro keeper just to keep some of this at bay. Where I am using this for the inverted carry, I do find that I use a lot less of the webbing because I want it to be very tight to my body. So when you do that, you do end up really, I would say, sort of cinching up on a lot of the actual webbing and relying on more of the paracord. And that's not a bad thing. You just need to kind of keep all of that at bay so it's not flapping around. And I don't want to go cutting this because I don't necessarily know where I will be using this in the future. So having the flexibility and the versatility has worked out very well. And then just, having that handle end and tidying everything else up with just a little bit of Velcro, no problem at all. And so now just giving you another example of another sheath where you can use the sling in a slightly different configuration. This here is my Tops SXB. So E.J. Schneider designed Tops SXB outfit in a sheath by Extreme Edge Custom Kydex. So Mark Irving at Extreme Edge Custom Kydex makes these beautiful sheaths. He asked me how I wanted to have this configured. Well, I said black multicam, of course, but also I said I would like some nice size D-rings so I can carry this with a baldric sling. And well, this works out absolutely perfect. So this here, you'll see having real big, beefy D-rings, but this clip here going on with no problem, nice and easy. Now, to Jacob's point, this does have a little bit more noise than you would get simply from those paracord loops. But at the same time, no problem taking this and clipping it on. Well, with pretty much a moment's notice, I am already ready to go. And you'll see here, fitting just perfectly, flat and smooth and contouring so nicely over my shoulder. It's comfortable, it's convenient, it's real easy where when you have a large blade, to just have the control that you need, keep your hand on the sheath, draw the knife, put it back with controlled action. To me, having a good quality carry system, it's not only comfort, it's safety. So the ability to manage your tools, to have them where you need them, ergonomically correct for deployment and also putting the knife back into the sheath. To me, that's a big deal. So Jacob, I think your tactical slings are wonderful. They have definitely aided in my ability to do my work efficiently, effectively, safely, comfortably. Very, very nicely done. So again, for all of you watching, if you're not familiar with Jacob Peterson and Beachin Tactical, I strongly suggest taking a look at his work. Also, follow him at The Prepper's Bunker Outdoors on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and as well as his knife projects with Exodus Knife and Tool. So all right, guys, there you have it. A look at the work of Jacob Peterson and Beachin Tactical. Overall, beautifully done. Again, you've heard me say it. I think the quality is definitely there. People have been raving about these slings, and I can absolutely see why. They are very nicely made. They're customizable. You can use them on a number of different applications. It's flexible. It's versatile. Again, just wonderfully done. And I have to say, this for me and my large fixed blades is definitely the way I'm going to go from here on out. So, all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.